Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today we are going to be reacting. I know. But today we're going to be reacting to the brand new This Is video that came out yesterday from when this video came out. Okay. The Legion Go kills the Steam Deck. I don't know if I agree with this take, but we'll see.
Hello and welcome to This Is Not Live from Micro Center.
Pre-recorded live from Micro Center, our fine sponsors. We're going to be talking about this, the brand new Lenovo Legion Go.
Yes.
Handheld.
This is such a cool idea, but this is such a cool, not Epic, yeah. This is such a cool idea, by the way. The Legion Go is such a cool idea. It's like a Switch, but it's for PC gaming. It's actually really cool.
PC gaming devices have been sprouting up left.
And it's not like the Steam Deck, because it actually has
and right.
detachable controllers.
Obviously the Steam Deck, we have the ROG Ally, we have 34,000 IO Neos. I don't count the Nintendo Switch. And then now we have the Legion Go from Lenovo.
So we're doing this before the actual release. So by the time you're watching this video, you can go down to your friendly local Micro Center and pick up a Legion Go.
Legion Go down to Micro Center.
There you go, that's
and
better.
Pick it up.
For the time that I've spent with it, I know your thoughts. We specifically not talked about because we wanted to save it for the video.
Yeah.
I am impressed in a way that I thought I wasn't going to be.
Okay.
When I first saw this, I was like, oh, I get it. You know, you've obviously got the Z1 Extreme, you got like the performance, but the sort of main selling point, or at least the thing that sort of jumps out most, I think, is the fact that the controllers are detachable.
The first thing I have to say about it is a beefcake with a capital B-E-E-F.
Okay.
It is big, it is chunky. I felt right at home with this in my hand.
Matt's reaction was, oh, that's really neat. Mine was, this is too big and heavy. I've since sort of saw.
I have seen that a lot. People are saying this is way too big. I don't have one, so I can't speak for experience. But I think, from what I've heard, at least, I own a Switch, so I think the Switch is too small. Like it's too tiny. People say the Steam Deck is a little bit small, but it fits well. And then people have said this is way too big. So
soften a little bit on that.
Kind of
there are some
the
compromises
best.
with this. So while having a super high resolution display is nice, the only downside there is that you're not really going to be able to play any games at 1600p. Same deal with the 144 hertz. That is terrific to have, but keep in mind that this is a handheld PC, and a lot of titles.
From what I've seen people do with this console so far. It's a handheld PC. From what I've seen people do, no one's gotten even close to the 144 refresh rate.
I was capping it at 30 FPS at something close to like 1080p or 1200p, and using like FSR or using some kind of like upscaling to kind of get up to a decent visual resolution. Now, the main reason why I will say that 1600p is nice is because it is a exact scale from 800p. So if you're going to be playing games at 800p, which is the same resolution as the Steam Deck, what you get is a very clean linear scale. Not the most important thing in the world, but especially when using Windows and stuff, like it's sharp.
It's easy to be snobby about being like, oh, I don't want to play at 800p. But when you have this nice scale down, 800p looks really nice.
But you're pushing more frame rate, right?
I was, I was looking at like more like 45.
I'm playing like Cyberpunk locked at 30, and I'm just trying to turn some settings up. But that's the thing. You have more flexibility. And I will say, regardless of whatever you want to do with the resolution, the frame rate, the display itself is leagues better than most other portable.
The best on a handheld I've seen by far. I'm really excited for when we actually have not out-of-date drivers and see what this can really do if it's already doing this now.
The Z1 Extreme is fairly well understood at this point. So you've got 8 cores, you've got quite decent RDNA graphics. Like, there's certainly a lot of performance on deck, and importantly, the Legion Go is well cooled. Now again, a lot of caveats here because we don't have those final drivers, but like, I have never had that fan speed to be egregious. It's been nice and cool to the touch, at least for all of the actual touch points, because those controllers are physically detached. They never get hot. They never get too toasty.
As much as I love the chunkiness, the controllers have almost no heft to them. When it's all one package, it's very well balanced. These just almost feel too lightweight.
Well, it's because you're holding something that's so heavy. Yeah. So when you flip over to it, they're so light. What do you think about the actual the vertical mouse? Because I found that is actually, in my opinion, really cool.
So what Austin's talking about there is it comes with this little magnetic disc. And what you can do is put this in mouse mode, the switch here, lock that in there, and you can move this now like a mouse. You have your right button, your click button. I have an issue with the version we have. So the little nubbin for the joystick kind of sticks in your hand unless you take it out, which doesn't feel like it's supposed to come out.
The way it's meant to be used is that you pop it off, and you can use the other controller in your one hand for navigation, and this one to actually look around and to
So you're kind of getting the best of both worlds of like, everyone knows that movement is best on a joystick, but shooting and aiming is best on a mouse. So if you're playing like whatever FPS you want to do, you're getting the best of both worlds there. And it works really well. I personally don't like the buttons on the back. That's not a Legion thing. That's more of a pro controller thing. Of just like, it's really easy to accidentally hit these buttons.
But you know what I do actually appreciate is the difference in controls. At first, when I tried this, I was like, oh, why are the controls different? Because when you look at it, there are buttons on the back, but each one is slightly sort of unique. So the right one has 2 buttons here and it has a little wheel, which is kind of interesting. But once I get used to it, especially with the touchpad, I find that using the touchpad to navigate Windows actually really pretty solid, especially for certain PC games.
And
they have optimizations for controls. So you can use the mouse cursor as well, so it's easier to kind of like fly on, like changing settings or whatever, some sort of tweaking and tuning thing. There's something to this form factor, and I think in the year of 2023, we're starting to see it mature to a point where it's really good. Like it's just it feels right in a way that some of the earlier versions of this kind of form factor were quite not there.
Right.
And I appreciate some of the stuff they're doing. Mind you, certainly not perfect. I would love for them to make the wireless controllers a little bit more of a solid kind of click. I'm always like, are they on? Are they off? Like it's a little bit vague.
Literally the click. There is none. It's subtle. It's just,
It takes a minute.
It doesn't work.
You have to kind of like take it halfway through and then slide it up. There you go.
It's a very, very small clip.
The Switch
it is
one's
worth
the
mentioning
best.
the storage. So the Legion Go, we've got the 512 gig model, which of course is available by the time you're watching this video at your friendly local Micro Center, but you may want more storage than that. So actually they have a deal going on right now where if you buy yourself an SSD at Micro Center, they can actually upgrade it for you. Now, mind you, if you go over to the main channel, I've actually done a video where I've upgraded the Legion Go and done it all myself, so you can find out how to do it. But if you're near a Micro Center, they can hook you up and help you do that SSD a lot easier.
All right, let's talk about software.
Let's talk about the software. You're going to talk about Legion Space, right? Can I actually tell you something?
Tell me about Legion Space.
So we've been passing this back and forth, right? So we got it for a little while now. Matt had it for a week. I picked it back up again last night. Last night, I downloaded an update to Legion Space, which completely changed the UI. And I'm realizing that what we were working with before was the very early beta version. Look at Legion Space now. Again, early beta stuff, but it is
better.
completely different on the UI. And I actually think it's pretty nice. Legion Space is a spot where you can go in and change your settings, change your sort of TDP and your fan profiles, and you can also launch your games directly through that, although of course you're free to use Steam Big Picture mode or whatever you'd want to do. Obviously we don't have any footage of this, so apologies. You explain what Legion Space was in that early build that we had?
It was just like a void of like, I feel like this derails a lot of my argument here because like,
fell into my trap card.
It took me like, way too long to figure out like how to like navigate this thing, to adjust these settings, because it was like, all right, compared to the Steam Deck, there's just a button you press. Now there's a button that you press. And it goes.
Again, we've got this early. By the time you're watching this video, all of the software will already either be loaded or available as updates and stuff. So we're kind of giving you our sort of first impressions as we go through it. And again, I still want to actually see it with the final drivers, which we do not have as we're recording this. But performance was good enough, and the software has been performing well enough, especially with that new Legion Space upgrade. I'm actually really happy with where it's at right now.
I'm just looking at like the evolution we've seen in the last year of these handhelds. I feel like we went so fast so quickly, but I feel like we are kind of already at like a somewhat of a wall. These things are amazing right now.
Yeah.
But like how much better can they get with our current thermal performance or like battery performance?
You're always going to be constrained. Any of these portable systems are always going to have to run a significantly lower TDP and everything compared to your full desktop PC. Like that's always just going to be a trade-off that you have. I would argue that the AMD Ryzen Z1 Extreme inside of this is a terrific trade-off. It'll pull, 20 plus watts, and the fan will crank. But even when this is at full tilt, in my opinion, it's not offensive. And when you've got it on like more like the balance setting, which is what I spent the vast majority of my time doing, it's really nice. Like it is completely a reasonable trade-off. It's not too loud, doesn't get too hot. Battery life again is not like amazing, but even with this early software, the battery life is still equivalent to what I've seen on the other.
Well, you know where battery life is amazing on these things is when you use them as a retro console.
Yeah,
and like
emulator.
I mean, I played. Granted, it was a Game Boy Color game, but I played that for hours and it barely touched Like,
and that's actually a good point. If you're ever playing a little bit of a lighter title, so something that's not super graphically demanding, you can turn the settings up. You can turn the frame rate up to experience the full 144 hertz. You can do the full 1600p.
Okay. I'm gonna make my list here of these are the super minor nitpicks.
Go for it.
That I would want moving forward. I would love removable joysticks. I would like these buttons to be less accidentally clickable. But that's my preference. For like the for upgrading the SSD, I'd love if they could hide like a slot in the back here or something like that, so it's a little bit easier.
Well, luckily your friends at Microsoft are happy to do it for you.
Exactly.
But what are your ultimate thoughts on the Legion Go?
I think this is the best handheld on the market.
Okay, I agree.
I wouldn't mind using this as my laptop.
Bigger, more powerful, running Windows, more expensive. It is a step up in some ways. I want to be kind of careful because I still love
the ROG
I don't want to run
Windows
in any way whatsoever. But I think this is a little bit of a different market, and I think that the Legion team, they may not have been first with the Z1 Extreme, but I kind of think they did it better. I'm being honest.
They may not have been first, but they certainly weren't.
I think the Legion one is the best.
Let us know what you think about the Legion Go.
And if you're...
Okay, well, there's the end of that. From what I've seen, at least, I think the Legion Go is the best, like, handheld PC on the market right now. I think it's one of the more expensive ones for sure, but it's, I mean, whenever it's getting the performance it's getting, when it has the upgrades it's got, when it's got all these things, and I think it's just better than the Steam Deck. Plus, it runs Windows, so you really could just use it as a computer and be able to do anything. And I know Linux, you can do like almost the same things as Windows, but it's Windows. It's almost everyone knows how to work a Windows computer. So I don't know. That's just my opinion, at least. Let me know what you guys think of it in the comments down below, and I will see you guys tomorrow with another video. Take it easy and peace out, everyone.